Today we're going to start off getting real comfortable with going back and forth between decimals and fractions. So we'll start off with trying to convert a decimal to a fraction. Looking at number 1 here, I see that some people might read this incorrectly as 0.32 or 0.32, but it's very important to know which place we're in. The 3 is in the tenths place, the 2 is in the hundredths place. So this is actually 32 hundredths. Okay, so if I read it correctly as 32 hundredths, it's very easy to convert to a fraction, which is 32 hundredths. It's the exact same way to say it, it's just written differently as a fraction. For instance, number 2, I look at that, that's in the tenths place, so that's 5 tenths. So I can simply write that as 5 tenths. However, this one can actually be reduced. Actually, the last one can be reduced as well. We need to go back to that one. Let me finish this one. 5 tenths can be, since both the 5 and the 10 are divisible by 5, if I divide this one by 5, I get 1. If I divide the 10 by 5, I get 2. And so my fraction reducing 5 tenths becomes 1/2. Let's go back to the previous one that I messed up on. I actually didn't mess up on, I just forgot to simplify here. 32 hundredths, they're both divisible by 2. In fact, they're both divisible by 4. So I'm going to divide them both by 4. And I will get 8/25. Okay. All right. All right. Moving on to number 3. This one, 3 is in the tenths place, 7 is in the hundredths place, 5 is in the thousandths place, so that's 375 thousandths. And that can also be reduced. I'm going to let you go ahead and reduce that on your own and then go on and no, actually we'll do number 4 together. We'll reduce that one on your own in just a minute here, but moving on to number 4 here. With this one, because it has a whole number in there, this one is 2 and 3 tenths, so I can easily just rewrite that as 2 and 3 tenths. It's the same thing. All right. Now I'm going to have you guys go ahead and do number, let's see, 5, 6, 7, and 8 on your own, and then we'll do number 9 together. So go ahead and do those, and then check the answers with me when you're done here. Okay, you should have paused the video while you did it yourself, and then you can check. Certainly we got 7 and 8 still on this page. You can check at those, and then we can take a look at the next slide here, which shows the 5, 6 at the bottom. Check your work, see if you make sure that you got those right, and then we will go on to the next one that's a little bit more challenging. So this next one here, I'm going to start off with number 9. This one's different because it has a repeating bar. 0.13 repeating means that this is really 0.1313131313. I can't actually call it 13 hundredths because of the fact that actually this is a repeating decimal that goes on forever here. So this one works a little bit differently here. So this is a 1/3 repeating that happens there. So in order to find this, I'm going to have to do this a little bit different way here. Okay, so here's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to start off with I'm going to first just go ahead and set it equal to x. I'm going to leave a little space above it. I need some room to work with. And I'm going to let x equals to 0.13 repeating. Now, I've set it equal to x. If I can find x as a fraction, then I've found my answer because I'm trying to convert this decimal into a fraction. This one is not just 13 hundredths because of the fact that it's repeating. All right, so the fact that there are 2 decimals repeating, the 1 and the 3, means that I'm going to multiply this whole equation here by a factor of 2. A factor of 100, which are 2 decimal places is what I meant. So I'm going to multiply both sides of this equation by 100. That actually moves the decimal 2 places. So 100 times the x is 100x. Now instead of writing it below, I'm actually going to write this above because I'm going to end up doing some subtraction later on. And so now I have 100x as I just multiplied the left side by 100. And if I multiply the right side by 100, the purpose of multiplying by 100 is multiplying by 2 zeros, which actually will move the decimal 2 places when I multiply it, and that will give me 13.13131313, etc. So I'm going to write that up here, 13.131313. That's the 1 through repeating right there. All right, now I've got it lined up very nicely to be able to do some subtraction in this problem here. Okay, so now I do 100x minus 1x. That x is the same thing as a 1x. So 100x minus 1x actually gives me 99x. All right, and then I'm going to do 13.13131313 repeating minus 0.131313 repeating. In other words, I'm subtracting the 0.13 repeating from the top one, and I'm only left with 13. So 13 minus 0 is 0. 0.13 repeating minus 0.13 repeating. 13 minus 0 is 13. 0.13 repeating minus 0.13 repeating gives me 0 over here, so I'm just left with 13. Now I'm pretty close to the answer because now all I have to do is solve for x. How is x not by itself? It's being multiplied by 99. How do I get it by itself? I do the opposite. I divide it by 99 and make sure I do that to both sides. All right, I'm going to divide both sides by 99. And now I have my fraction that I'm looking for. X is equal to 13/99. Look at that. Okay, there's my fraction. Now we might realize something. Wait, is 100x always going to subtract 1x to give me 99? Is it always going to be the thing over 99? Well, let's take a look at another one here. All right, let's take a look at number 10 here. All right, this one is 0.4 repeating. All right, 0.4 repeating. All right, so I'm going to start off. I'm going to let x equal to that again. Same step we had before. Let x equals to 0.4 repeating. Okay. Oops, I'm not sure I left enough room there. Let me try that again here. Leave enough room here. X equals 0.4 repeating. Okay. Now, the fact that there's only one decimal repeating this time, of the 4, means I'm actually going to multiply it, instead of by 100 when it was 2 decimals repeating, I'm going to multiply it only by 10 this time because I only need to move the decimal one place because there's one repeating. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 10. X times 10 gives me 10x, and 0.4 repeating times 10 moves the decimal one place to the right, which gives me 4.4 repeating. So I'm going to put this here, 4.4 repeating. And then, once again, I'm going to subtract 10x minus 1x. That, a lot of people have trouble with that. Remember that that's a 1x, just x. 10x minus 1x is 9x. And 4.4 repeating minus 0.4 repeating just gets rid of the 0.4 repeating and leaves me with 4. And so I am left with 9x equals 4. X is being multiplied by 9, so to solve for it, I divide by 9. And I get x is equal to 4/9. There's my fraction. The 0.4 repeating is the same thing as 4/9. All right, so let's see if you can go ahead and do one of these on your own. Let's go ahead and take a look at number 11. See if you can do 11 on your own and then check with me to see if you've got the right answer. Go ahead and stop the video, try it on your own and see if you can do that. So hopefully you got 7/9 for that. Remember that the 7 repeating was only one decimal repeating, so we only multiply it by one factor of 10. So we move the decimal, we multiply by 10, not 100. If there were 2 decimals repeating, you'd multiply by 100. 1 decimal place, you'd multiply it by 10. And that moves the decimal one place, and then we subtract and get 7/9. All right, so now it's time to switch to the next video to work on the rest of it.